Tyler, the Creator, just dropped his brand new project. What can artists learn from his latest rollout? Let's go ahead and get into it. What's going on, We Help Artists community? It's your boy Silk. I am the founder of We Help Artists and Hidden Hand Agency, and we've worked with companies such as Sony Music, Alamo Records, and many, many more. And what we do is we specialize in helping artists market their music so they can reach the next level in their fan base, right? Now, one of the biggest artists in the game, Tyler, the Creator, just dropped his latest project, Don't Tap the Glass. And what can artists take away from what his last rollout was? Well, let's go ahead and hop straight into it so you can pick up some of the game from somebody that's a big name, right? So step one, Tyler released his project on a Tuesday. Now, if you pay attention to the industry, you already know this is not conventional, right? New Music Fridays is now the industry standard, but guess what? This is lesson one. You do not have to drop your music on a Friday. If you're not signed to a major label, you ain't got to play by the major label rule book. And why would you want to compete with the big dogs on Friday when you could be dropping on a different day when there's less competition for eyeballs? People earlier in the week, they bored, they trying to get through the work week, so they might be way more likely to check out your project or check out your single on a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday than they will by Friday or Saturday or Sunday. At that point, people are probably going to go to the stuff they like the most. So if people are on the fence and they're not really a fan of you, you could be missing out on an opportunity to get heard more. And another benefit of dropping earlier in the week is by the time the weekend comes around, people could have heard your project or heard your single and already added it to their rotation for the weekend. You feel me? Everybody by the time Friday comes around has already going to been heard this Tyler project, if you're a fan at least, and you're going to have your favorite songs in rotation for the weekend that you might want to play around your friends or the ones you want to hear when the weekend come, right? So there's less competition for eyeballs during the week. Now it can make you a bigger focal point of the conversation. So consider dropping your music on different days. Test out different days and see what works for you. Even though don't nobody like this name, right? But 6ix9ine, I remember he used to drop music videos at like 5 p.m. on a Sunday. That's like nobody's doing shit. You know what I'm saying? That's like in between the 1 to 4 o'clock NFL games to the late night game. Like that's a nice little window for you to put your song out there when everybody probably chilling close to the crib. Most people anyway, getting ready for the rest of the work week. So that's step one. The next thing that we can take away from this Tyler rollout is, what is he doing? He's interacting with his fan base. He's interacting with his audience. As you can see, he's quote tweeting people that are tweeting about the project. He's interacting with them. And this is something that a lot of artists overlook. You might only be getting 5 to 6 comments right now, but you're not interacting with those people. And those people could be the early people that are in your tribe that become your your advertisers for you, right? Your marketers for you. They are the early ones in the movement. You want to embrace them and make them feel special. So here it is. You got an artist with millions and millions of listeners, platinum records out the ass, right? And then he's still interacting with all his fans. And you got 18 fans that commented on your last post and you're not interacting with anybody. This is what you need to do to build that connection, right? People support people that they feel connected to, right? So feel like, don't be afraid to interact with your audience. Don't be afraid to interact with those people that are interacting and rocking with you. It's a very simple thing, but a lot of artists overlook it. The next thing that artists can pick up on is Tyler has a strong visual brand identity on each and every project, right? Look at his project cover right here, Chromacopia, right here. Now, this is his last project. He just dropped 9 months before he dropped his next project. And look at his image and look how it's changed entirely from that project to this project. Now, I'm not saying that you got to change your image necessarily every time you drop anything, right? But what I am saying is he always makes sure to stay consistent to the theme when he does drop. You feel me? Like if we look at something from Chromacopia, we're going to see this is kind of how the image looks. We're going to see this is kind of how the visual style is. He's coming this kind of black and white tan look. He's coming with the army look. That's his whole vibe. You know what I'm saying? Versus we look at what he's doing now. He's totally on some whole different shit. But you see the image is consistent throughout. You know what I mean? Look at these videos right here, bro. Look at this content right here. You see the visual difference in all of this. For each theme in each era, he keeps a consistent brand image the entire time. Keeping your brand and your image consistent and making a brand and making something consistent in the imagery is something that'll make you stand out, right? What a lot of people like to say is people want to be able to dress up as you for a Halloween character, and people will be able to recognize off top what you're going for. What's good? I hope you're enjoying the video, but check this out. You're actually late. Our community members get early access to everything that's on YouTube and access to the stuff that never makes it here, like our exclusive courses, like access to funding and everything we have inside of here, all of the resources and tools that'll help you market your music, level up your career, early access to conversations, funding, and let's not forget a community of over 400 members that you're able to network with all across the US and the globe. So if you want to go ahead and really level up your career, hit that button in the description, join the community today, and we'll see you inside. Let's get back to the video. So right now, if we pull this back up, right, and we show Tyler's current image, right, boom. You could easily dress up like this for a Halloween person and somebody gonna immediately recognize, oh, he's Tyler. And you could do that with all of the different eras that he goes through. And it's like, oh, yeah, this is Tyler. Oh, this is Tyler. Oh, right? So creating consistent brand and imagery is key. And that's something that you want to take away from this project as well. The next thing that we can pick up from Tyler's rollout is something you already know, which is video content is key. At this point, I don't got to tell you that, right? But go ahead and let's just take a look at this. What did Tyler do? What do you notice about this first video that he dropped, right? Give you a second. This is what I noticed, and this is what I'm talking about specifically. This is a one-shot visual, meaning this camera is in the same position the whole time, right? All they did, they did different shots and stuff like that, but ultimately, this shot is in the same position the whole time. You could do and accomplish this same kind of thing with a tripod, right? Now, obviously, you might not have Pusha T and Clips and LeBron James in your video on a Ferrari and all that shit, but guess what? You could take your phone, pull that out, shoot it horizontal or shoot it vertical, whichever one you choose. Get you a cheap tripod from eBay, from Amazon, from Best Buy, Walmart, etc. And boom, now you can create some interesting visuals, right? He didn't always have a huge budget for his visuals and all of those things. And I'll pull up this real quick. That guy with this video he did for a freestyle from Kendrick's project, right? This was just kind of like, this would look like it kind of was shot on a phone. You feel what I'm saying? And he intentionally kind of went for that look, but that's something that you can do, right? This is just about being creative and being willing to create some cool content. It doesn't have to be overly produced and all of that shit like the stuff he's got now. You know what I'm saying? You can make something cool without it having to look and come across super expensive. Obviously, he's got a fucking Ferrari in his video, but you don't gotta have that in yours, right? So just making interesting visuals and visual pieces of content, that's something that's a major key moving forward for all artists at this point. That's something everybody should know by now. But if you're still running from the visual content, my nigga, get with the program. Now, last kind of things as we wrap up on this shit, right, is boom. You can sell merch, right? Now let's pull this up. One, he's collecting his fans' emails. Major key, right? He's collecting contact information, so he's not just dependent on the algorithm, because we know the algorithm will love you today and hate you tomorrow, right? So now he's collecting his contact information for his fans off platform, so he can always let them know about tickets, about merch, about shows, etc., right? Albums, etc. And you can be selling merch without having any upfront costs. Now, for Tyler and these guys, they got to ship it out by a certain time because they're trying to make sure to abide by the Billboard album sale rules and all that. But guess what? That's not the game you playing right now. So what you can do is you can sell merch of your own at no upfront cost, right? And so how you could do that is with a company like this, Printify, right? Where you could just go in here, do some mock-ups, boom, they'll give you some mock-ups that look professional. You can make a Shopify website. There's a free trial. I think it's 3 months free right now. You could get some nice preview looks like this right here, and you could sell your merch at no upfront cost to you, and they'll handle all of the shipping for you and everything. Like, let's say, for example, you wanted to do a sweatshirt, right? Boom, you pick the sweatshirt you want, you had a design uploaded, and just like that, you win a game. Right? So now you could do that with no upfront cost to you. So that's something you should be doing. Put something for sale if you come in with a project, or after you build up some momentum with a few singles, put something for sale and just see what happens, because you can do it with no upfront cost and you never know who might support you. Always give yourself an opportunity to get paid. The last few things I say about this Tyler rollout is, hey, you can drop a project if you want, right? I know we hear a lot of people that are saying and they bashing projects. And personally, if you don't have much of a fan base, I would recommend some singles to build up momentum first before dropping a project. But if you're like, you know what? No, I want to drop a project. Here's the benefits of doing that. Well, if one of those songs blows up, people will have a back catalog to discover, right? So if they like one song, and your other songs are similar, then they're gonna have more songs that they can go listen to immediately after hearing the big song. 2, you can do post rollout promo, right? So you don't need to, if you don't have a big fan base, you don't need to do a long lead up to this project dropping, but you could then drop the entire project and then promote each song on the project like a single, right? By doing content to each one, visual pieces of content, multiple pieces of content. And then naturally you'll see which songs the people are rocking with the most. And then those are the ones you decide ultimately to push the hardest and the longest. So for a big artist like Tyler, even though he kind of did do a surprise-ish drop, a lot of them will announce an album, have a long rollout, and then drop and do all that. For somebody like you that might not have a big fan base right now, you can keep the announcements and all that short, sweet, all of that. Drop your project, put all your energy, effort, money, etc. in the post rollout promo, all right? And last but always and certainly not least, if the music is ass, your ass is grass. You know what I'm saying? If the music is not good, then this whole shit I just said becomes 10 times harder. So be able to be real with yourself about, is the music right? Is the music entertaining? Are people connecting with the art? Because if you do all of the other things right, but then you still find yourself still struggling with momentum, even if your content is clean, even if you're doing good marketing, even if your image looks good, your designs, your branding, your website, your merch, if everything else is on all cylinders, but for some reason it just doesn't seem to be working, it's probably the music. All right. So be willing to be real with yourself about, if the music isn't entertaining, that's going to cause everything to be harder. Okay. So I hope you found this video valuable, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. And if you're not in the community already and you're watching this video right now, make sure to go ahead and get in the community, because you get early access to content like this. You get to network with us, talk with me, access to funding, and access to all the exclusive content that never makes it to YouTube, all right? So if you want to go ahead and get ahead, get in our community. Link is in the description. And if you want us to market the music for you, check out wehelpartists.com and we got you. And until the next video, this is Silk signing out. Peace.